Welcome to Club Buzz with DJ Locust. Hope you're excited to spin the beats tonight and get on that dance floor. But as far as opening hand goes, we have no dance floor. So it's hard to get bugs to dance if you don't have a mana base. So let's go mulligan on this one. And that is, yes, that is the Skull Clamp. And then, yes, we will keep on that one. So, all right, we're going to keep, what are we going to put on the bottom? I think at this point, I do like Frantic Search. Remand is not. I think if we're going to send anything back, we might as well just go and send Remand. Remand is, Remand is one of those nice cards in Commander that if we can, sequence it to where we end up with something really nice with it, awesome. If not, then we need to ship it to the bottom. So there we go. Let's go and lead off with Flooded Strain. Let's go and crack Flooded Strain and grab ourselves a Volcanic Island. And let's really set the tone for tonight's DJ set. Get down Skull Clamp. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Club Buzz with DJ Locust. Hope you're excited. It's been a long time. I know. Are you excited too, baby? Everyone is. It's been a long time since we've been in the club. In fact, it might even be better part of a year. I was trying to look at what I wanted to record this week, and I was like, I saw the Locust God over there being like, hey, you should do this. I was like, all right, partner, you got this. Let's go Island, and yeah, we'll just end up going Swiftfoot Boots, because if we can get Locust God down and get those on pretty quick, that sounds like a pretty good plan. So anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. We're playing the Locust God himself. Flying, whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token when flying in haste, which is absolutely nutty. 4 mana activation, draw a card, then discard a card. Then whenever the Locust God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next instep. Look at that. Our opponent's got their very own Swiftfoot Boots, and we do hit a colored source in Cascade buffs. So let's get that down. Yeah, I guess at this point we just end up going Frantic Search. And we've got, actually, we'll just go and hold on to Frantic Search. I think that's okay. And then let's just go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Playing gets the Obzedat Ghost Council. Whenever the Obzedat Ghost Council enters the battlefield, exile target opponent. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Then at the beginning of your end step, you may exile Obzedat. If you do, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next upkeep. It gains haste. And our opponent's going to pop Cascade Bluffs. Yeah, I guess we'll just add mana in response to that. Everyone gets to search for a basic, so we'll be okay with that. And this is doing their main phase, so that's going to be pretty much their entire turn. So we're going to be pretty cool with that. The main thing is, do we want a red source or a blue source? Yeah, we'll just go and grab a red source since we do have blue between Volcanic Island and the actual island itself over there. Now with Frantic Search, because we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's just go and go for Frantic Search. We've got the extra mana. And so we can just go ahead and tap down. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're going to go Frantic Search. Brainstorm, okay. We do need to discard 2 cards. Let's get rid of Swiftwater Cliffs. And Reliquary Tower is going to be the land drop for next turn. Yeah, I guess we'll just go and get rid of Brainstorm now that I think about it, because this Hedron Archive is really going to help out. So I was maybe seeing if we could somehow get into some weird 4 mana draw spell or something, but we whiff on that one. But at least we dug a little bit deeper into our library. So our opponent's going to pass the turn. So we're going to end up going for Hedron Archive next turn. That does put us online for the Locust God, which is going to be very nice, especially once we get Swiftfoot Boots on there. The only thing that we need to do is dodge some sort of 1 mana removal from our opponent, whether it's Path to Exile, Swords of Plowshare, whatever that may be. And we do have the mana Confluence to get down for Swiftfoot Boots. So anything else, we're going to go pass the turn over to our opponent. We did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you want to be a VIP at the Club Buzz with DJ Locust, TCG Player selling VIP access tables. All you got to do is use bit.ly/Jolt MTG, and that will let you get into the VIP access. Yeah, well, baby, you're automatically VIP. So, all right, now baby has joined my lab. She was being quiet, but then, sometimes when you get the club going, baby wants to see it firsthand. So she's officially in my lap now. But yeah, be sure to check out TCG Player. That's a great way to support the channel. And you're getting yourself cards too, which is nice. And our opponent only has Field of Ruin up, so this is going to feel pretty good. That's going to be 1/2 off of Hedron Archive. Let's go for a blue and a red, and then 2 more. We'll leave up a mana Confluence that way. Well, either way, we're still going to have to go for the boots on it. Let's get old Mana Confluence on, not Mana Confluence, but Swiftfoot Boots onto the Locust God. And then let's go and push in. We're going to be swinging in for 4. It's going to put them down to 26. And I like where we're at right now, because we got a Skull Clamp for next turn. That's going to be some beautiful Beautiful, beautiful card draw. So anything else, we pass it back over to our opponent. But also, give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. You can play the brand new Commander set. Well, not the brand new Commander set, but the new set that released. Be sure to check out MTGOTraders. They haven't done a paper release yet. It's a great time to get into Magic Online and play with some of your friends. And also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com if you're doing some webcam Commander games and you want to kind of up your background for your webcam. Be sure to check out TCG Player. They've got a lot of cool options in playmats and face mask. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, oh no, that's going to be Council's Judgment. Obzedat Council, Ghost Council's definitely not. And our opponent did, they vote for the Locust God, so we'll vote for the Locust God too. Because we don't want to get rid of, I made that mistake one time, and I think, yeah, I voted for something else and I got rid of both of them. And I know our opponent was like, oh, much obliged, I appreciate it. All right, so the Locust God is back in the command zone, and we'll try to get them down in just a second, but as long as we keep making our land drops, that's going to be pretty good. So, compulsive research, draw 3 cards. Yeah, I think we just end up going for it. It's going to be 1-2 off of Hedron Archive, and then we do have to discard 2 cards, so we don't really have to worry about Magma Quake at this point right now. Pact of Negation is kind of suspect. I actually kind of like Coat of Arms on this one. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. If we can just get a couple different locusts down, that'll really help us out. Typically, Coat of Arms is just kind of our closer card, you know, especially if we get Skull Clamp going to get those insect tokens going. That's a beautiful way to get the club going. So we're going to go for Coat of Arms, and then anything else will pass the turn over to our opponent. So yeah, I think that was everybody. So if you're keeping score at home, it's officially free time. Let's have some fun. Now, as far as DJ Locust, what are we doing with the deck? If you've never played the Locust God, if you've never seen the Locust God play, this is pretty much a one-trick pony. That is about it. You know, it's 0 to 60, and that's getting insects on the battlefield. You can build the Locust God in maybe like a controlling manner if you have kind of like this blue-red tempo style build if you want to. I think we've got a pretty good amount. Yeah, we've got a fair amount of basics in here. So we're just going to start splitting these down the middle if they want to target our... And if you heard her burp, that was my baby. She had a bottle this morning. Getting ready for club DJ. You always got to prepare before going to the club. Make sure you stay hydrated. So she did. And that's going to be Worn Power Stone. So that's going to be Locust God. We're looking at 8 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with Worn Power Stone. So we're going to get down Worn Power Stone. And if we can just keep dodging all this remove, if they want to keep going for Field Ruin activations, we are A-okay with that, because we're going to be, eventually we'll be able to just kind of get out from underneath this weird little lock from our opponent. So anything else, pass it back over there. But yeah, with the Locust God, I do like to mention that if you do want to build the Locust God, I know, baby, it's a lot of fun. If you do want to build the Locust God, it is very... You know, you go to 0 to 60 in a straight line down the road. That's kind of what the Locust God is. You get it down, go for wheel effects, get those insects going. The fact that they have haste, I mean, you're pretty much just bottlenecked into building a very generic Locust God deck. And if you're building something that's continued play for a very long time, the Locust God may not be your cup of tea. But if it's a deck you bring out every once in a while, oh, it's some good magic right there. It's the best. I mean, there's so many times where we're like, all right, this is the turn. If we don't do something, we lose. And then next thing you know, we have like 20 insects on the battlefield, because then you just wheel into wheel effects. You know, the wheel effects are only 3 mana. Then you've got just great interactions like Skull Clamp. There's just a lot of really good stuff. So, all right, so Ancient Tomb, actually, that is a beautiful draw, because that's going to allow us to go for the Locust God. So let's get this going. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 off of Worn Power Stone. We got DJ Locust. He's mad. Somebody blew up his DJ set earlier. So let's have Locust God come down. Let's go for Swiftfoot Boots onto the Locust God. Yeah. And this is actually a very unique Locust God game in that most of the time we just have a ton of insects on the battlefield. So we'll go swing in for 4. Our opponent does have 3 cards left in the hand. We did see Vindicate. We saw Council's Judgment. So let's hope that they don't... I mean, if they've got a board wipe, it's not the end of the world. We can always send... the Locust God back to our hand. Yeah. So even if they've got a board wipe, it's not the end of the world. So, and then next turn we're looking at getting a token on the battlefield, and then we can Skull Clamp them. That'll be 2 more tokens. That'll be a beautiful Coat of Arms. And then that's one of the cool things about this deck. Just like any token deck, it is a Skull Clamp deck. You know, just being able to clamp those tokens. Oh man, that is... That feels really good. So we've got double blue, double red. Let's go and grab another island off this one. Yeah, and surprisingly, we're running. Normally, I don't run a ton of basics in here, and so it feels pretty good to be running a high amount of basics in here if they're going for that line of play where they're trying to blow our lands up. Now, there are some commander decks where I've got like 2 or 3 basics, and so if we get hit with more than 2 or 3 Field of Ruin activations, we're in a pretty bad spot. But with our opponent going for Field of Ruin, it's cutting us off access to, really some of these wheel effects. Most of them, we've got Wheel of Fortune that's going to be 2 mana and a red. We do have a couple different things in here like double red, double blue, but I still think our mana base is going to be able to survive this. Now, the only thing is we have to watch out for Obzedat entering the battlefield. That's going to be... Let's see if this is a board wipe. Living Death. Okay, this is going to be a... So let's have... Technically, the Locust God... It's not going to die, because each player exiles, then sacrifices all creatures. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to have the Locust God go to the graveyard instead of the command zone. There we go. Alright, that's going to send Locust God back to our hand. Obviously, that's going to go to the exile zone. And then our in-step, okay, yes, we will get the Locust God back. Now, we are looking at, the good thing about this is that the Locust God, Incendiary Command. Okay, so let's go Locust God, let's cast that, because, yeah, we need to get this down. That's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we can still end up going for Swiftfoot Boots onto the Locust God. So it's going to be 1 more. Now, here's the question. Do we want to block on Obzedat Ghost Council? It's going to be 5. Yeah, we can survive off this. Let's go and swing in. That's going to come in for 4. It's going to knock them down to 12, 23. And I guess, do we just Skull Clamp on the Locust God? I mean, there's nothing else that we're doing. So if something does happen, actually, that would have been a little extra point of damage off that, but I don't think that's going to be the end of the world. So anything else, pass it over to our opponent. Hopefully they've run out of resources. That's a pretty hefty... we've seen a pretty... They've thrown the kitchen sink at us so far with using Living Death as a board wipe, Vindicate Council's Judgment. So if we can untap this next turn, then I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. We've already got the Locust God active to keep coming back to our hand. We've got the Swiftfoot Boots, so we've been able to kind of dodge that commander tax. So it's been pretty good. Let's see what this is going to be. If this is another board wipe, all right, that's Obzedat Ghost Council. And actually, I think our opponent... Yeah, so unfortunately, with that Living Death that sent them back to the command zone, it looks like this is going to be their entire turn. That's just going to be 2 mana. All right, this is good. So we're going to be able to untap with an open Skull Clamp. It is time to have some fun. So if you're keeping score at home, clear the bingo sheet off. It's time to keep track of some tokens. So, all right, so it's going to be Obzedat Ghost Council being exiled. And we do have Incendiary Command. Each player discards all the cards in their hand and then draws that many cards. So we don't have a ton of cards, but we might be able to kind of sequence it to where we can set up a really nice turn, especially with this coat of arms out here. So, all right, so we've got 1 insect token on the battlefield. And I think we're just going to Skull Clamp our way out of this one. I mean, that's going to be Skull Clamp on insect token. That's going to be 2 more card draw. The main thing is I think this is going to give us a really nice coat of arms. There we go. That's going to be a couple more insect tokens. And let's do it a couple more times because we do have this active Tolarian Winds, and that's really going to help us get a lot more insects on the battlefield. And, oh, excuse me, with Coat of Arms. Oops. All right, so let's go Tolarian Winds. There we go. That's going to be 1. Our opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. Yeah, we're going to be able to close it out. So we've got Tolarian Winds. So once we get this Tolarian Winds to resolve, we're going to discard all the cards in our hand, draw that many cards. It's going to be 3 more insects on the battlefield. That's going to be +3/+3/+3 for everybody. Then we go for Whirlpool Warrior, go for that activation, draw that many cards. So basically, we're going to be able to end up with this kind of insect board state that's... going to close the game out. So there you go. And that's what I'm talking about with the Locust God, is that you're going to have these games to where it looks like you're not going to win. And then as long as you can untap with a bunch of mana and some sort of wheel effect or something of that nature, that's really going to allow you to kind of grind the game out. So yeah, even between Tolarian Winds, it's going to draw 3 cards. If we go for Whirlpool Warrior, get her down, that's going to go for that activation, draw that many cards. So eventually we're just going to get to the spot to where we eventually hit a wheel effect, or we look past the Coat of Arms mistake with Skull Clamp and basically get enough insect tokens to close the game out. But oh man, does that feel good to after being on lockdown the whole time, be able to get those insect tokens. But that's gonna be it for the video. In fact, if you enjoyed your time with DJ Locust at Club Buzz, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.